Hey, what's happening, guys? Marc Webb discusses some major spoilers from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in a recent interview with Digital Spy. Now, of course, this video contains major spoilers, so if you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch it. Of course, here we are talking about the death of Gwen Stacy, something that struck me, even me, and I've been ready. I've been waiting for it for 2 years now, and I was pretty sure it's gonna happen. It still struck me. It's not that it wasn't really a surprise, but the way it was actually portrayed in the film. Now, of course, some people complain about this whole scene, the death of Gwen Stacy scene, like when Spider-Man shoots a web, the web line actually creates a hand. It looks like a hand reaching towards Gwen, who is falling down the clock tower. Personally, I think it was one of the greatest things, one of the most beautiful shots in the film. Actually, it was done very well. Now, of course, Marc Webb mentions that the idea to kill off Gwen was always there. It's not that they decided, to kill her off only in the second film, when they were writing the script. It was always there. It was pretty clear, honestly, when they announced that Emma Stone was playing Gwen Stacy, that they might go with the death of Gwen Stacy's story arc road, and of course that's what really happened. Also, Marc Webb mentions the theme of time. And of course, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the opening shot is a ticking clock. We see a watch, Richard Parker's watch, and while I'm not sure about the particular Easter egg, I'm pretty sure that at the moment Gwen Stacy's neck or on her head basically hits the ground, the clock tower clock, basically the clock itself, stops at 1:21. Now, I'm not really sure, of course. I've seen the movie twice now. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was an Easter egg, and Marc Webb mentioned that a time on a clock can refer to a number on a comic book. He said that a year ago, and of course issue 121 is the issue where Gwen Stacy died. It's The Amazing Spider-Man 121 by Gary Conway, and really struck me. He also mentions in the interview that even superhero can't race against time. And of course, it is mentioned by Marc Webb that this death, of course, will change Peter like forever. He won't be the same again. Now, personally, once again, bringing my thoughts, the way she died, the way Gwen Stacy actually died, was kind of surprising, because at first, after watching the movie for the first time, it happens very fast, so you don't really get the if she hit the ground with her head or not, or if it's the web line that caught her and her neck snapped and she didn't really quite hit the ground. Now, after seeing the movie for the second time, I'm pretty sure that's the case. She actually hit the ground with her head, which was very gross, and I do remember the whole theater basically was like and then silence. Nobody said a sound, including myself. Nobody said a sound until the like a minute later on, when I started hearing people crying all over me. So Gwen Stacy hits the ground. Definitely nothing. That's not how it really happens in the comic books. But at this point, we should stop comparing the scenes in the comics to the scenes in the film. I mean, these are comic books and these are films. She dies just like in the comics, but the way she dies is different, and I have no problem with that. And of course, later on, when Peter grabs her body, we see blood coming, out of her nose. So it's definitely a brain injury, a head injury, and not really sure about the neck snapping. I think when we will get the DVD of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and when we will rewatch the film for a dozen times, then we can finally tell what really happened there. So Peter Parker won't be the same, which brings me the question of Mary Jane Watson. Now, The Amazing Spider-Man 3 might be the first film when Spider-Man's girlfriend won't be in danger, because there is no girlfriend anymore, until, of course, they will introduce Mary Jane. Whether Shailene Woodley will return or not, We don't really know, but most likely she will be replaced, which is of course very unfortunate. But Peter's love interest won't be really introduced that soon. Don't expect Mary Jane in the beginning of The Amazing Spider-Man 3, definitely not. Perhaps by the end of the film you just hit the jackpot, perfect moment to introduce Mary Jane once Spidey defeats a bunch of new villains, and of course we know who will be the villains. You can check out my previous discussion video, The Fate of Norman Osborn, where I and Mark discuss all the villains that will appear in The Amazing Spider-Man 3. They're basically confirmed now. So check out the full interview down below, and of course everyone who's seen the film, let me know what was your reaction when Gwen actually died, how the theater reacted. And I must say that once I left the theater, I was actually thinking about the film overall, what I enjoyed, what not. I wasn't really that much worried about what I've seen, worried about Gwen that much, and only a day, 2 days passed and I understood that she's dead. And for some reason it struck me really, I became very emotional, 2 days later, only 2 days later, when I found out my folder with all the Emma Stone set pictures, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that's when I realized that we won't really see her for real, only probably flashbacks. So very sad scene definitely, and Peter Parker won't be the same, and a lot of fans won't be the same as well. Half of the emotional impact is due to the fact that it's Emma Stone. I mean, she's so great, she's so adorable. We've been following her, I've been subscribed to some fan sites, of Emma Stone, and if it wasn't for Emma, probably the death wouldn't have such a huge impact on myself personally, but Emma, she's so great. So tell me what you guys think down below, answer the questions, what was the theater reaction, what was your personal reaction, and I'm off for now.